Welcome back to the Hermitcraft FTB server. Well, things have been going pretty good here, and I've been kind of busy. Let me start off with updating the bee situation here. You see here, I've got a couple of lines of alvearies all the way back, and they've been marked on top. These ones here, they have redstone blocks floating on top of them with torches. Those are all excited drones, excited bees, producing redstone. All of them, all 13 of them. And then over here, we have farmed bees producing, let's see, they produce the wheaten combs and the seedy combs, which produce wheat and seed oil. And there are 13 of them. All nice and neat in a row. Over here in the corner here, there are currently 6. You can tell which ones because they have the vines on them. And these guys have the tropicals, which are producing the combs that produce the particular kind of propolis that can be made into string. And so I've got those guys making that. And there's quite a bit going on here. The rest of them haven't been organized yet, and I'm working on that. And I've also been working on organizing the way things work down below. I've decided that the cobblestone pipe where the rejected bees go is going to be sunk into the floor like that, so it makes it easier to get around. And it's going to take a while to get all of them converted and whatnot, and that's not a problem. It just take a little while, doing a little bit here and a little bit there. And so now the pipes up here, the stone pipe where the items come down, I'm going to leave that where it is. Now all of the items, get through here, they end up coming through and end up in this pipe right here. All of them. And you can see I've got a very steady flow of lots and lots of goodies heading into that chest with the import bus that goes into the ME system. Lots and lots and lots of stuff here. Tons of it. As a matter of fact, you see here I've got 61,000 redstone. When I started with the excited bees just a few days ago, I had 30,000 redstone. And in that time, I have not been running a quarry. I now have, let's see, 15,000 silky combs. I actually put in 2 more centrifuges to process it faster because I was not keeping up with the string demand. And so I put 2 more of those in today. There's 10,000 honeycombs, so honey is not going to be a problem. 10,000 pollen. I now have 191,000 wheat, and there's like 3 or 4 centrifuges processing wheaten combs. And so, yeah, I am not going to run short on wheat. As a matter of fact, I've got more space cleared out over here where I'm going to have a second line of centrifuges processing this stuff. And so, not bad. How are we doing for seed oil? Oh, that sucker's full. And by the way, I'm not using seeds to make seed oil at all anymore. I've made a change here. This export bus is now only exporting seed drops. And the thing is full of them. So we've got all the seed oil we can possibly need, and so on. That was careless of me to leave a hole in the floor like that. There we go. Okay. Liquid DNA, 1,600 buckets. And counting. I actually, because of the prolific nature of these bees, because the redstone bees and the farm bees, they all have maximum fertility, which means they produce a lot of drones fast. So I put in a third gene pool for processing them all, because while I was doing that, I built up a huge stock in this chest. This thing was 3/4 full with 2 gene pools running. I had to put a third one in there so it could catch up. So that stuff's going really good. And over time, I will be adding to the collection of bees, getting more specialized bees in here, and getting the ones that I have in there more organized. But that's enough for the bees for the moment. Oh, by the way, I did modify this, and I got out some glass viewer and put in the floor here so that it does give you a view downward now. Okay, with the solar panels, there's a little bit of news too. You'll recall some time back, actually quite a while ago now, when I put these up, I put up a stack of advanced solar panels, 64 of these things. And then I started making ultimate hybrids sometime later. And now have, I believe it's 22 ultimate hybrid solar panels. I'm converting a few of them every 2 or 3 days. And eventually I'm going to have 64 ultimate hybrid solar panels. As it is, it's already getting to the point where they can keep most of these MFSUs pretty well charged. Give them enough charge during the daytime that they can continuously provide full power to the stuff down below at night with no power glitch, no power problems at all. Alright, now the big thing down here, let's see, not a whole lot changed here yet. I do need to work out something over here with the machines here, these electrolyzers producing deuterium. Now, see, that one said insufficient energy line. That's because it's not hooked up at the moment. The reason it's not hooked up is that every time I do hook it up, it doesn't have enough power. Now, this one, not a problem. Runs great. It's pulling power from that transformer that comes off the MFSU. And by the way, the MFSU is full. And this line comes off the MFSU and goes to transformers here and here. And each transformer here provides power to one of these electrolyzers, which runs fine. They're running short on empty cells at the moment because I don't have it set to craft empty cells, to just provide them. So, and I'll get to that in a moment. But these two run fine. They run great. However, if I put another transformer down here and hook it up to this one, then it starts this routine where the little white bars start to come up and then they fall back down. They start to come up and they fall back down. And it complains about insufficient energy line. In spite of the fact that it's got the same arrangement as these, and in spite of the fact that the MFSU has got more than enough power to run it, you know. And I've tried several different ways of hooking that up, and it just isn't doing it. So I've got to work on rearranging the power arrangement for this to get this set up as it is working good. And then I need to expand it. I figure I need to have at least 4 times as much hydrogen cell production as I've got. As it is, I've got quite a bit of deuterium. I've got like 10,000 deuterium cells. And that's the issue about the cells. Rather than keep crafting millions of empty cells to put deuterium in, I've got to get the deuterium out of those cells and tank it. Put it into tanks. You know, like I've got the fuel tanks set up here and the biomass tank. And by the way, since I've got all that wheat, I've switched this one over to using wheat. And it's doing pretty good. It's keeping up and so on. So I'm probably going to switch this one over to using wheat as well. And yes, I've made a change here. I've opened up another floor. And yes, there's a wisp floating around here, but that one is non-hostile. This wisp has not attacked at all, so I'm going to leave it alone. But down here, the reason for this floor is tankage and storage facilities. And by the way, this is probably the single fanciest stairwell I've ever built in Minecraft. If that's pathetic, then so be it. I just wish that you could make stairs out of this glowstone brick, because that would complete it. Be able to traverse the thing without having to hop and hop. You know, they either make stairs out of the glowstone brick or to make stairs out of glass or something that was transparent. Anyway, down here, tankage. I want to have a tank down here to store deuterium, another tank next to it to store tritium. No, excuse me, helium-3. Tank for deuterium, a tank for helium-3. And some other storage down here. As you look in here, I've got a lot of stuff. Like, I've got 2 million logs in the system. I don't need that many logs at my fingertips in the system. But I don't want to throw them away either. So, I'm thinking it's time to get into hooking up with, let's see. There it is. The sucker. The deep storage unit. And then there's the quantum chest or quantum tank. I might get into those. The quantum tank for storing the liquids. I mean, okay, a capacity of 488,000, whatever it is, chunks. 488.28125 chunks. I don't know, whatever it's talking about, but it holds a lot. If I'm not mistaken, something like 2 billion buckets or some crazy thing like that. It's even bigger than the multi-tank. So I'm thinking quantum tank for storing the liquids. And since the quantum tank requires a quantum chest, then I might as well set the system up to make quantum chests and use the quantum chest or deep storage chests, I'm not sure which, to store certain solid materials like the excess, like the bulk of the oak wood. Keep, say, 100,000 in the system and have the rest of it go into deep storage. The same thing for charcoal or rubber wood or apples or anything that I've got tons and tons of, more than I actually need. You know, and don't get me wrong, I believe in having more than I need, but storing it wisely is a good idea, because as it is, you know, that's using lots of system capacity. And as for the deuterium cells, once I get a tank set up for that, then I can put liquid transposers down and have it transpose the liquid deuterium out of the cells into the tankage and free up all of those cells so that they can be used to make more deuterium. Anyway, I'm going to get set up to start making this stuff, and I'll be back. All right, I've just been looking up the requirements to build this quantum tank. And aside from the fact that you need a quantum chest to make it, which is expensive and a pain in the butt, but not impossible. And one of the main ingredients is platinum plates. To get platinum, either shiny ingots, which I think I have some, or platinum ingots. Platinum ingots, you get that from, like, platinum dust is the most logical step. Platinum dust, you get that from ferrous ore, shiny ingots, or platinum ingots, of course. Apparently a 10% chance when pulverizing iridium ore that you silk touch, which I don't do that. sheldonite ore, which you can only get in the end, a block of platinum, of course, and so on. And so platinum, at some point in here, yeah, tiny piles. And you get tiny piles, obviously, from regular ones. You get it from the industrial grinder with ferrous ore, and that's a possibility. Rather than have a small chance, then run it through there and get a guaranteed of at least one tiny pile off of each one. And then there's this platinum combs, which, after doing some Google time to find out which bees make the platinum combs, it's the valuable bees, I can come up with those, but it would take me probably about a week's worth of time to breed them. And I'm not against doing that. In fact, I'm going to. But in the meantime, I'm going to, let's see, we've got import buses. I'm setting up a couple of more pulverizers here. And let's see, we get the inputs set on these things. Like so. And like so. Alright, now reach into the system, and I do have some ferrous ore. Not a whole lot, and I've even got some pulverized ferrous metal. But, you know. Alright, so I'm just going to have these export buses. If I can manage to target the thing. Take all ferrous metal and just drop it stack at a time into the pulverizers. And then over here, I'll set up a couple of more, well, at least one more furnace. Uh-oh. What'd I break? Yeah, can't have that broken. There. Alright, let's see, I've got energy conduit here. I'll just grab a hold of another furnace. AE Systems Auto Crafting is extremely cool. That all set, and I need a couple of more interfaces. Another import bus, another export bus. Let's take care of it. Import bus, export bus, and now platinum dust goes in here to become platinum ingots. And then I'll have to set up a plate bending machine over here to turn it into platinum plates. I just need to see if I don't already have some. I've got one doing, no, that's chrome. Alright. Got a couple of plate bending machines. Let's just hook one up. Alright, and more imports. And, oh, doggone it. Keep clicking the wrong thing. Alright, import buses. Quit jumping around here. Export bus. Import bus. Okay. Export on the top. Import on the back. And set this thing platinum ingots. All platinum ingots processed into platinum plates. There. That'll take care of that. And I'm going to need to come up with more ferrous ore, which means I need to start cranking up the quarries again. And not a problem. I'll get doing that off camera because it's very ho-hum, done it many times. In the meantime, let's see. Need 4 platinum plates, 4 energy flow circuits. I do hope I've got that. Well, wait a minute. I need to start with a quantum chest. So I need a couple of highly advanced machine blocks, 4 data orbs, a teleporter. Alright, let's see here. Data control circuit. That's not a data orb. Data orb equals a data orb. Well, duh. I don't know why recipes like this exist. Alright, data control circuit, data storage equals data orb. Okay, that makes more sense. So data storage, data control circuit. I got a feeling that's not going to be enough. And I'll bet they're going somewhere because it didn't show up right away. Alright, I'll chase that one down in a bit. Alright, data orb and 8 data storage circuits in an assembling machine equals 4 data orbs. Alright. Here we are. That's an assembling machine. There's more data storage circuits. Okay, what was that recipe? Data control circuit, 8 data storage circuits. Alright, so we've got that, and we put some of these in here. And then it will take its sweet time to make the data orbs. Okay, that's a start. Alright, what else do we need? We need highly advanced machine blocks, a teleporter, and a digital chest. Oy, oy, oy. More data orbs, a computer monitor, refined iron plates or aluminum plates. Computer monitor. Ay, ay, ay. Alright. Well, at least, okay, 4 aluminum plates, glass and lime, rose red, and lapis. Alright, I've got some lime. We've got some rose. We've got some lapis. Four aluminum plates and glowstone and glass panes. Alright, here's the glass panes. Fine iron, aluminum plates. Okay. And, oh yeah, refined iron plates. I have 20,000 refined iron plates because I made a mistake in how I had something set up. And 20,000 iron ingots went through the thing and became plates before I could realized what was going on and put a stop to it. So, anybody needs refined iron plates, I'm the guy to talk to. Okay, alright, let's get this computer monitor thrown together. Alright. Alright. and the lime, and the lapis, and some glowstone, which I happen to have. There's a computer monitor. Alright. And actually, I should just go ahead and make several of the things, because no doubt they will be needed, because I'm going to need many more of them for other tanks and so on. So I'll just make a couple of them for right now, pop the rest of this stuff up there, and I'll get it hooked into the AE system to have the AE system make them later. Alright, so there's the monitor. Data orbs are on the way. Highly advanced machine blocks. Alright. I'm going to need at least 8 of them, so let's just get them cranking. And a teleporter. Hey, the system knows how to make teleporters. Just make a few of them. Alright. Now, let's see if my data orbs are ready yet. Nope, it's going to take a while before the data orbs are ready, so